Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a breath, a deep one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, be here, fully, because what you're about to hear isn't just a message. It's a shift in awareness, a doorway, a possibility. You see, most of us have been trained to believe that stress is an enemy, something external, something to avoid, something to numb. But I want to offer you a deeper truth. What if your stress is sacred? What if that tension in your chest, that tightening in your stomach, that sleepless night, that moment of uncertainty, what if it's not a punishment, but a preparation? Let's look at this not just emotionally, but energetically. Stress is energy. It's life force, misunderstood, misdirected, and often trapped in the nervous system. But that same energy, when understood, can be alchemized, transformed, elevated. What once felt like pressure can become power. Now let's go deeper. Every thought you think sends a signal into the quantum field. Every emotion you feel magnetizes an experience back to you. This is not just spiritual poetry, it's science. And when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, you're not broken, you're ripe, you're standing at the edge of transformation. Because here's the mystery. The human heart, yes, your heart emits a magnetic field that can be measured several feet beyond the body. And when that field is coherent, when your heart and mind are in harmony, when your thoughts align with elevated emotions like gratitude, love, and faith, your biology changes, your chemistry shifts, and miracles, those beautiful quantum leaps, begin to unfold. Stress is simply the old system dying. The old version of you is cracking open, making way for the new. And just like a seed must burst before the sprout emerges, your pressure is part of your process. So today, I invite you not to run from your stress, but to meet it with awareness, to breathe into it, to bless it. Because the very energy you're feeling right now, that heaviness, that fear, that resistance, can become the fuel for your next level. You're not waiting for the blessing. You are the blessing. And your stress, it's just the cocoon. God's source, intelligence, the infinite, is not distant. It's in you. It's in you. Around you, through you. And it is orchestrating something beyond your wildest imagination. But it begins with surrender. It begins with trust. It begins with the simple sacred act of saying, I'm ready to let this become beautiful. Your nervous system will heal. Your heart will open, and you'll look back and realize that season of stress was the exact pressure that formed the diamond within. The shift is happening. The blessing is coming, but more than that, the blessing is already here. And it's you. Stress is sacred energy, not an enemy. This idea may feel unfamiliar because most of us have been conditioned to view stress as something negative, something to avoid, manage, or suppress. But what if stress isn't here to destroy you, but to awaken you? What if it's not a curse, but a call from within? When we experience stress, what we're really feeling is energy in motion, energy that's being stirred up by thought patterns, emotional imprints, and subconscious beliefs. It's the body's way of signaling that something old is no longer working, that we're being called to evolve beyond our current limits. The pressure you feel in moments of tension is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you are carrying the weight of unexpressed potential. It's a buildup of life force energy asking to be channeled into something greater. From a biological perspective, stress activates your nervous system, releasing hormones that sharpen your focus and increase your awareness. But when we remain in that state without understanding it, we get stuck. We begin to loop the same thoughts, replay the same stories, and reinforce the same emotional reactions. That's when stress becomes suffering. But when you recognize that stress is simply feedback, a sacred messenger, you begin to relate to it differently. You realize that it's not working against you, it's working with you, inviting you to shift your perception, your state of being, and your entire reality. This shift in understanding opens the door to transformation. You stop resisting the experience and start listening to it. You begin to lean in with curiosity rather than fear. You begin to ask, what part of me is trying to grow? What truth is being revealed through this discomfort? What is this energy trying to become? Pressure precedes transformation. Just like the earth uses pressure to form diamonds, your inner world uses pressure to initiate growth. What feels like a breakdown is often the moment just before a breakthrough. It's not the end of your strength, it's the edge of your next level. And that edge feels tight, uncomfortable, uncertain, because something deep within you is shifting. Old patterns are dissolving. Old identities are being stripped away. The mind wants comfort, but the soul craves evolution. And evolution always begins with disruption. When you feel the intensity rise, when life feels like it's closing in, that's often a sign that you are right where you need to be. The discomfort is not random. It's the heat that forges the new you. Internally, your brain and body are recalibrating, letting go of old neurological pathways that no longer serve the future you're stepping into. The mind resists because it fears the unknown. But that unknown is where every version of the future you desire lies. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's alignment. It's friction between who you've been and who you are becoming. Transformation doesn't happen in still water. It happens in the turbulence, in the stretching, in the moments when you don't know how things will work out, but you keep going. In those moments, something greater is being formed. You're building resilience, you're unlocking awareness, you're accessing wisdom that can't be taught, only embodied through experience. There is intelligence in the pressure, a divine timing to the process. When you stop labeling it as wrong and start seeing it as part of your refinement, everything begins to shift. The more intense the pressure, the more profound the transformation waiting on the other side. Thoughts send signals. Emotions magnetize outcomes. Every thought you think is a frequency, an energetic signal broadcasted into the field around you. It's not abstract, it's measurable. Your brain is an electrical organ, and your thoughts are impulses that carry intention. When you think a thought, especially one charged with focus, it sends a blueprint outward into the invisible field of possibility. But that's only half the equation. The universe doesn't respond to thoughts alone. It responds to the emotion that backs them. Emotion is magnetic. It draws experiences toward you that match the energy you're radiating. This is why you can think positively all day but see little change if the emotions you're holding are rooted in fear, doubt, or block. Your inner state must match the reality you desire to create. Thoughts are the signal. Emotions are the charge. Together they form a broadcast, a personal energetic signature that shapes what you attract into your life. The clearer the thought, the more focused the signal, the higher the emotion, like gratitude, joy, or love, the stronger the magnetic pull. This is not just about mindset, it's about embodiment. You must feel the future you want as if it's already here. When your heart begins to believe in a reality that the mind cannot yet see, you start pulling that possibility into your present. The quantum field responds to coherence, to the alignment between your inner world and the reality you're asking for. If you want to change your life, start by changing the story you tell yourself and the emotion you consistently generate. Your future is not only shaped by your actions, it is shaped by the energetic combination of your thoughts and your feelings interacting with the field of infinite potential around you. Coherence between heart and mind creates miracles. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, you enter a state of inner harmony that influences not just your internal biology, but the reality unfolding around. The heart and brain are in constant communication, and when they are in sync, when the mind thinks clearly and the heart feels deeply in a state of elevated emotion, something powerful happens. Your body begins to function more efficiently. Your nervous system stabilizes, your immune system strengthens, and your energy field expands. Scientific studies have shown that when the heart enters a coherent rhythm, it sends signals to the brain that improve cognitive function, emotional regulation, and decision-making. You become more intuitive, more grounded, and more present. You are no longer reacting from survival mode, but creating from a place of inner stability. In this state, your frequency rises, and the universe responds not to your words or your wishes, but to your vibration. The more coherent your signal, the more clearly you communicate with the field of potential that surrounds you. Most people live in a state of incoherence. Their mind wants change, but their heart is carrying resentment, fear, or unprocessed pain. That gap between what they think and what they feel creates internal conflict, and that conflict blocks the flow of creation. Coherence, on the other hand, is alignment. It's when your inner world speaks in one unified voice. It's when your desires, your beliefs, and your emotional state all move in the same direction. In that moment, you're not just wishing for transformation, you become a magnet for it. You begin to influence matter with your energy, shaping outcomes not by force, but through the invisible power of inner alignment with your higher self. The body is a receiver of divine intelligence. It's not just a biological machine, it's an instrument designed to perceive, translate, and express energy. Within you is a system far more intelligent than we've been taught to believe. Your cells are listening. Your heart is broadcasting. Your brain is processing not just physical information, but energetic information coming from the field around you. That field, what some call the quantum field or divine intelligence, is filled with infinite potential, and your body is wired to interact with it. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel creates a chemical signature in the body. But it goes deeper than chemistry. The body is a mirror of the soul's state, a reflection of your alignment or disconnection from higher truth. When you feel inspired, grateful, or connected, your body becomes a clear channel. It starts to resonate with frequencies that are in harmony with life itself. You may feel lightness, clarity, or a subtle knowing that guides you beyond logic. That's not imagination. That's perception. That's your body acting as a receiver. On the other hand, when the body is caught in patterns of stress, fear, or past trauma, it becomes clouded. It stops sensing the greater intelligence that's always available. But the truth is there's more, so much more, and your body knows it. Your intuition, your gut feelings, those quiet nudges from within, they're all evidence of this deeper intelligence speaking through your physical form. When you begin to honor your body, not as something separate from spirit, but as a sacred interface between the seen and the unseen, you unlock the ability to live in constant dialogue with divine guidance. Stress signals the old self dying, the new emerging. It's the discomfort that comes when familiar patterns no longer serve who you're becoming. While it may feel chaotic on the surface, stress is often the body's response to deep internal change. When you're shifting your identity, your beliefs, or your emotional programming, your nervous system reacts because it's leaving behind what it knows. The old self, the one shaped by survival, fear, and limitation, starts to dissolve, and that dissolution creates turbulence. This is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something is moving. Your subconscious mind has been trained by past experiences, and when you start stepping into a new vision, a new vibration, or a new possibility, those old imprints begin to resist. They push back not because they're powerful, but because they're programmed. Stress becomes the friction between your past conditioning and your future potential. In this space, you're not broken, you're breaking open. Biologically, stress activates ancient systems meant to keep you safe. But in the process of transformation, that activation can be misinterpreted. You might feel anxiety, fatigue, or emotional overwhelm, but underneath it is momentum. Underneath it is growth. The old neural pathways are being interrupted. The emotional addictions to certain states like anger, guilt, or self-doubt are being challenged. And your body, which has memorized these states as normal, starts to protest. But this protest is actually a sign that your inner environment is being rewired. The self you've known is making room for a higher version of you, one that lives from awareness, presence, and purpose. So when stress rises during change, it's not regression. It's transformation in motion. It's the sacred undoing of what no longer fits, so something greater can emerge. Your heart emits a measurable magnetic field. This field extends far beyond your physical body, and it's constantly interacting with the environment around you. Science has shown that the electromagnetic field produced by the heart is not only stronger than the one generated by the brain, but it also carries information, your emotional state, your intentions, and your level of coherence. When your heart is in a state of balance, love, gratitude, or compassion, the frequency it emits becomes orderly and harmonious. That order creates a resonance that can influence your own biology and even the people around you. You are not isolated in your experience. You are radiating a signal every moment of the day, whether you're aware of it or not. That signal is shaping your reality, drawing to you experiences, relationships, and outcomes that match the emotional quality of your heart's energy. The field around your heart acts as a kind of broadcasting system, transmitting your inner world into the larger energetic matrix that we all live within. When you feel anxious, fearful, or stressed, your heart rhythm becomes chaotic. That incoherence reduces your ability to think clearly, connect deeply, or heal fully. But when you shift your emotional state, when you consciously move into a feeling of appreciation or inner peace, you instantly begin to recalibrate your heart's field. In that moment, you're not just changing how you feel, you're changing what you're broadcasting. You're becoming a living magnet for higher outcomes. The intelligence of the heart is ancient and profound. It doesn't operate through words, but through vibration, frequency, and feeling. It knows truth before the mind can explain it. And when you align with that intelligence, when you lead your life from the heart, your energetic field becomes a force for healing, connection, and creation. Bless the stress. It's preparing you. Stress is often seen as something to avoid, suppress, or escape from. But in reality, stress is a messenger, an invitation to growth. It may feel uncomfortable, even painful at times, but it is also the body's way of signaling that change is needed. The discomfort you experience is not an indication of failure. Rather, it's an essential part of the process that leads to greater awareness, expanded capacity, and transformation. When you embrace the stress rather than resist it, you begin to shift its energy. You begin to see it for what it truly is, a catalyst for evolution. The mind and body are constantly working in tandem to help you reach your highest potential. When stress arises, it's often because you're on the verge of breaking through an old pattern, releasing limiting beliefs, or stepping into a higher version of yourself. Stress forces you to confront the areas of your life that need attention, healing, and realignment. It's uncomfortable because it's asking you to stretch beyond what you've known and what you've been conditioned to accept. This stretching is necessary for personal growth and the realization of your true potential. Instead of viewing stress as an obstacle, start seeing it as an opportunity. When you bless your stress, you acknowledge its purpose. You shift from being a victim of it to being a participant in your own transformation. Every moment of discomfort holds the potential for profound insight, clarity, and the release of old energy. The stress you're feeling today could very well be the very thing that propels you into the next chapter of your life, where you experience greater peace, clarity, and alignment with your highest truth. By accepting it as part of the process, you align yourself with a higher flow of creation. You're not waiting for the blessing. You are the blessing. This is a powerful shift in perspective. Understanding that you are not separate from the divine flow of abundance, health, or joy that you seek. For so long, we've been conditioned to believe that blessings are something outside of us, something to be earned, hoped for, or prayed for. But the truth is, the blessing resides within you, in the energy you radiate, and the state of being you cultivate. You are a unique expression of the divine, and that makes you a channel for all the blessings you seek in your life. When you begin to understand that the blessing is already inside of you, you stop searching for external circumstances to change in order to feel whole, fulfilled, or loved. Instead, you realize that you have the power to shift your energy and perception in every moment. You are the creator of your reality. The more you embody gratitude, love, and peace, the more you step into the realization that you are, in fact, the blessing. You don't need to chase after what is already yours by nature. When you begin to operate from this place of knowing, when you embrace your inherent worth and divine connection, you magnetize everything you desire. You become the energy that attracts what is meant for you. You are no longer in a state of lack or waiting for something outside yourself to complete you. You are whole, abundant, and blessed right now. The universe is always responding to your energy, and as you step into the fullness of your own being, you begin to see the world around you transform in miraculous ways. Surrender activates the shift. It's in the moment you release control, when you let go of the need to figure everything out or force outcomes, that the real transformation begins. For so much of our lives, we are conditioned to believe that we must fight, struggle, and strive to make things happen. We believe that if we aren't actively pushing, we are not progressing. But this mindset keeps us trapped in the illusion that we are in charge of everything. In reality, we are co-creators with a greater intelligence that is constantly guiding us toward our highest good. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the flow of life, trusting that there is a larger plan in motion. It's about letting go of the need to control every detail and embracing the unknown with faith. The moment you release resistance, you align with the natural rhythm of the universe. It's like swimming in a current. When you try to fight the flow, you exhaust yourself. But when you relax and allow the water to guide you, you move effortlessly toward your destination. This doesn't mean that you stop taking action, but the action you take is inspired, not forced. When you surrender, you allow the space for clarity, intuition, and creative solutions to emerge. You stop trying to micromanage your journey and start trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The universe begins to align circumstances in your favor, bringing the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. In that state of surrender, you tap into a deeper source of wisdom that guides you toward the transformation you've been seeking, without the struggle or resistance that once held you back.